Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. Florida rapper Julio Fulio. Then it was the Youthful and Pro show and theory about his contribution in Julio Fulio's shooting. What's more, presently, it's Bossman Dlow, another Florida rapper who just got attacked by the federal authorities. A fan caught it live on film, obviously showing the rapper being captured by different officials. As of the present time, nobody knows precisely what the strike was for. Yet we really do know it's significant since the federal authorities don't assault somebody's house for the sake of entertainment. There's dependably an explanation behind it, so remain tuned on the grounds that we'll dive into every one of the subtleties. This is nuts, Chief Man, heavenly. This is insane leading. We should jump directly into what happened precisely as of late. A film showed up on X, previously known as Twitter, showing head honcho Dlow being arrested by specialists. The video shot by a passerby shows head honcho being placed in binds close to a vehicle. The spectator, apparently stunned by the unfurling occasions, calls out the Florida rapper's name as Big Cheese is driven to a police cruiser. He gazes upward in reaction to his name being called, adding an individual touch to the strained circumstance in spite of the broad sharing of the video across online entertainment stages. There is, as of now, no substantial data accessible with respect to the points of interest of his capture or when the affirmed episode occurred. This absence of data has energized theory and interest among fans and the general public, adding to the secret that the video might actually be filmed from a prior occurrence in 2024 during that occasion. Mono was momentarily kept during an inquiry of another person's property in his old neighborhood of Port Salerno, Florida. Anyway, this association has not been affirmed, leaving the timetable and purposes behind the new capture. Muddled since there's very little information on what's going on, individuals are interested in what it very well may be. And some are beginning to figure it very well, maybe a medication strike due to head honcho's previous given the absence of clear data in regards to head honcho D's ongoing captures trying to piece together the specific subtleties of what happened anyway. One thing we really do know is that this isn't Big Cheese's first experience with policing. Past communications with the specialists add a layer of intricacy to the current circumstance. Supervisor Mandelo, a notable figure in the Florida rap scene, has had his fair share of disagreements with the law. He started rapping in 2019 as Supervisor M. Dlow, before momentarily spending time in jail and district prison on charges of selling, and prior to 2024, he was moreover momentarily confined during a hunt of another person's property in his old neighborhood of Port Salerno. This episode, while not bringing about any charges against Chief Man, featured his continuous battles with lawful issues all through his profession. Head honcho has been open about his encounters and the difficulties he's confronted with, frequently involving his music as an outlet to communicate his dissatisfactions and points of view on life under a microscope. His verses habitually address subjects of flexibility and beating difficulty, resounding with a considerable number of his fans who see him as a figure of steadiness, not just through music. However, he has additionally raised his encounters with being in prison during the coronavirus in different meetings now on the far edge of the range. What was the base point for you during your childhood in that space? What was your absolute bottom or most regrettable second for you developing up? I had that after the studio. I'm saying got kicked there. I had a warrant and afterward, you know that warrant when you got that warrant, B. Hard to grind when you got a warrant. I had a war and went to prison just definitely like gracious cash looking amusing. And I went to prison insane. Now was this area prison? Or did you wind up going far there than that region prison and I had went South Florida Gathering Center. I was in there for around a half year. It was COSO, up, so it might have been a more drawn out time there, notwithstanding coronavirus, or no, I invested a large portion of that energy in the region prison before I went there. So, and was that battling the case or the sentence to the case? Definitely that was like they recently had you sitting so lengthy consistent pushing your court B trial in those days. Coronavirus, so that was they pushing trials back 90 days all at once now. What was the outcome of that case? I had wound up getting like 20 months, so presumably like 10 months, and that is at the point when they at last came and got me and feel like sharing with the charge for. That sense was some unimportant like I was on probation for some weed also, some other, so I was waiting on the post-trial process. Then I disregarded that they came and got me to deal charge. I drove my homeboy to a deal or some insane that is what they singed me with it as well. So it's incredible that generally done in any case, what year did you get secured? I got secured like the finish of 19, not really good or bad going into co you were in prison damnation better. Believe it, no better believe it, I was before co. However, I was in there the entire time that began, so you in jail or you in prison. I was in prison. Okay, so I seen the shoe on the television like good. DNS man Chinese fella get off transport. He done got everyone wiped out and and they like goodness this co and simply passing on. And 100, 200,000 damn what the happening without a doubt. I'm in here stumbling like it's insane as however insane as it seemed to be in prison. For you was more insane over here canine. He no doubt that was insane, and my kin don't got they, so I resembled damn BR. Did you get it in prison? You don't realize I'm saying I know I got it yet? I never better believe it. I won't ever get tried, and they told me yet cause it was like it was in one of them circumstances where alright assuming you go, let them know individuals you wiped out you feel me, and they you test positive with co now the entire residents go back on isolation, right saying, which is terrible damnation. No, we was that 14 days straight truly when a little ready to be done was simply expected to be multi-day quarantine. We went over that like damn almost 21 days. So is that like you can't leave them? Cell simply in the cell in the bed the entire day you can't go. No place can't indeed. Even clean up nah. So are you at least like washing up in the sink B? You better believe it you prob all to get your little cleanser bar and hit up under your arms. And correct about that is all you getting not to. Far off damn well. How long were you in when you wind up getting out? No, I had it like 17 months simply sitting in the district damn I went up. I just went to South Florida gathering for it. Are presumably like 6 additional months and naughty OS from that point. How was Co was making all that sluggish? I was truly expected to go to jail. However, Co was making no transports, was coming to get individuals. You feel me realities. Consider the possibility that you don't care about me inquiring. What were you in for certain medications? Drug charges deal. That is the one thing I Florida like you'll go delay. Everyone partaking in weed, everyone got packs better believe it Florida. Ain't playing Florida is still no doubt they ain't playing the South. Additionally, in those meetings, he discusses his previous, which we will address a bit ourselves, supervisor. Dlow was conceived and brought up in Port Independent, Florida. Growing up in this modest community, he confronted a large number of difficulties that molded his character and affected his music. His youth was set apart by a steady battle to transcend his current circumstance. Where open doors were restricted and the enticements of the roads were ever present since early on Bossman needed to explore a troublesome way his loved ones battled monetarily, and he frequently found himself in predicaments, attempting to earn barely enough to get by regardless of the difficulty. Bossman fostered areas of strength for versatility and assurance. These characteristics later became focal topics in his music as he looked to motivate others confronting comparable difficulties in his adolescent years. Bossman started to see the unforgiving real factors of life locally. The draw of quick cash drove him down a perilous path, and he engaged in exercises that, in the end, came about in lawful difficulty. His encounters during this time showed him hard examples of life and the outcomes of certain decisions anyway. It wasn't all awful. Bossman likewise tracked down solace and a sense of direction in music. He began rapping in 2019, utilizing his stage name Big Cheese Dolo. Music turned into his break and a way to offer his viewpoints, disappointments, and trusts. His crude and bona fide narrating immediately acquired consideration, reverberating with audience members who connected with his battles. Furthermore, wins regardless of the highs and lows. Head honcho's excursion from an upset youth to a rising star in the rap scene is a demonstration of his tirelessness and energy. His experience in the obstructions he has defeated gives a more profound comprehension of the man behind the music as he proceeds to develop and advance as a craftsman. His previous remaining parts, a huge portion of his account impacting his work and his message to his fans. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.